Welcome everyone to Cat Crew Wednesday here on July 22nd of 2026. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Hope you all can hear me. If you can hear me, just give me a quick thumbs up. Loud and clear, good. Okay, I'd like to say hello to everyone. JD, welcome here. Grandpa Rails, how you doing today? Then we got Autistic Wrestling Federation. Welcome. This is the first time you're in here. How you doing? What's your first name? You can just type it in the chat. I appreciate it. And then we got Chuck Schreiber here. Welcome, Chuck. How you doing tonight? Glad to see you. Dwight Curley's here. Hey, Dwight. How you doing tonight? I see your A1's been printing a lot lately. That's good. See if anybody else shows up soon. Yeah, I usually start a couple minutes before 8 o'clock sometimes. Let's get the ball rolling. And we've been having some nice weather here in New Jersey. Today's high was 86, and right now at 8 o'clock it's 77 now. Hey, Rick, welcome. Painting the mini-me's, very good. How you doing, Rick? Yeah, I saw they were delivered yesterday, so that's pretty good. They got there pretty quick. The 99. Yeah. Yeah, it was only, like I said, it was only 86 here. That's a good temperature. Not real hot, not too cold. Hey, Mike, welcome. How you doing? Good to see you in here. How's it going down there? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, well, you need rain once in a while, but not all the time. When it rains here for days sometimes. Ridiculous. Just wish it would like rain at the time when we're asleep instead of during the day. You know, that would be perfect weather. That'd be perfect weather. But it always rains during the day and cloudy and gray and everything like that. At least the air quality is good now in New Jersey. Yeah, Chuck. Well, what can you do? The winds blow everything around. That's what happens. Never can tell. 104 down there, huh? JD, that's pretty hot. Uh, what I've been doing is a lot of odds and ends around here this last day or so. 73 out that way, yeah. Yeah, that's not too bad. 65 this morning. Can't complain about that. So, my resistor wheel project, it came to, I stopped it because I was having all kinds of trouble making the resistor wheels myself. So I just contacted my buddy who makes them, and he's sending me stuff, and it's on its way. It just left Chicago, and it's going to be here on Saturday, I guess. So that one there, uh, I ordered it, and he had to make them over the weekend. Then he got tied up, and then he didn't get them out until Tuesday, yesterday. And he made it out of Illinois, made it to Chicago yesterday, and then it departed from Chicago, and now it's in transit. So it should only take 2 days to get to New Jersey from Chicago, depending on how many stops they got to make. Yeah, I was doing that, Mike. I took the can and I always shaked it real good before I applied it on. And I was not getting any resistance at all. Uh, I don't know if the resistors at the end of that long strip were bad or not. I just gave up on them. So I just ordered them for my buddy. And he told me to send them back, the ones that I had from him before that weren't working quite right. And he's going to take a look at them. Hopefully he can fix them and then send them back to me. That'll give me another 14 up. So when you buy a bag, you only get 12 wheels in. And that does 6 cars. So takes you need a lot of bags. So I had a lot of rolling stock, and it's pretty funny. So that's it with the resistor wheel. But I'll go over a side story in a minute about the resistor wheels. So also, I was talking about last week about the push buttons were causing problems. And so I finally got them all removed off of the layout. And I cut all the wires off. I traced them all back to the BD20 and removed all the extra wires, hooked the BD20s back up, and got them all removed. Then I said, now I need to test the tracks to make sure that I got the polarity correct. Because putting the wires, you could have. So I found a few wires that I had to flip when I would run the engine on the track onto the main line off of the siding. It would short out as soon as it got across the insulator joiners. And all that to do was flip the two wires, and that fixed that. So, yeah, 65, that's good. Somebody didn't hit the like button. So anyway, so I tested all the tracks. Then I wanted to test the yard, the lower yard and the upper yard. I did the upper yard first, and I ran the engine in. I had to clean a couple of sections of track in the upper yard. Hadn't been cleaned at all yet. And I cleaned that, and then the engines ran in, and I had 2 or 3 track sections up there that I had to flip the wires on. I go to the lower yard, and coming into the lower yard, I have a turnout coming off of the main line that goes into the yard, and then there's a turnout ladder going down, and that's how it feeds the sidings inside the yard. And I hit the button to make the motor move on the very first turnout in the yard, and it wasn't closing all the way. The points on the turnout wasn't closing all the way. So I moved it over manually, and then I ran it in, and I found 2 of the sidings had the wires flipped. I flipped them, and I was able to run into all the sidings. And then the very last turnout, it had the same thing. It wouldn't move back and forth all the way. So that one, I just slid up the fulcrum on the motor and moved it, and then that made it bang up against, and it worked both ways. But the other one, the motor wouldn't move back. And this was the motor. Now it's a tortoise motor, and it slides back and forth, no problem. And if I slide it this way, and it goes back and forth. So I gotta find out how to test these. Since I have test track here, I can, set it up and try running it, and then maybe I can use this for something else later. So I had a small, which is the one that has the decoder in it, and I like them better than the tortoise machines. But I have so many tortoise machines, I'm using them until they go bad, then I'll switch them over to the decoder ones. But right now, so then I couldn't, you need, a spring wire, right? You can't see that right there. There's the spring wire up and down there. And it needs to be a long piece. Then you can slide it down through and screw it onto here. And but unfortunately, I don't have any of this. I had a real thin one. I had brass that was real thin. That wouldn't work. This is like 25.025 or 0.032. I don't remember what size this is. So I ordered it on Amazon. They had the K&S, the brand name K&S spring wire. I ordered a couple of 12-inch pieces, and they just shipped it out today, and it's coming by the post office, and it's in Georgia, I think. So it's gonna be up here probably early next week. Then I can finish up that, put that machine up on the layout, put the spring wire in there, and get that turnout operational. So then all the other tracks I tested, and they're all working. I just have one siding on my lower level. When I was unsoldering the wires for the LEDs, which was causing the problem, I must have hit the feeder wire, and that got loose somehow. So I said, okay, well, I have to resolder that, and resolder that wire back onto that piece of track. Then it'll be good to go. So yeah, so I hope to get the spring wire soon. Then I'll get that done. So after I removed all of the LEDs from the track power, then everything started working, and now it works perfectly. One track, I wasn't getting any response from the BD20, so I traced the wires, and on the BD20 I have two wires. One's the logic wire and the other one's the ground wire. Well, I found that the ground wire came out of the terminal block, and I think that was because I was checking another piece of track up there. I was testing a BD20. I took it off, and I unscrewed the wire, and I think two of them wires were together, and I forgot to put it back in the screw. Yeah, that sits in Chicago. Sometimes it sits in Chicago for a long time. You should have sent it to Soundtracks directly, Dwight. That would have been better. I don't think Jason has equipment to repair the decoders. He might have something to test the decoders, but I don't think he has repairing equipment. That stuff is pretty expensive, I think. I don't know if he has it or not, but I send all my stuff to. If I buy things from, decoders from vendors and stuff like that, I don't send them back to the vendor. They all have a return policy. Send it back to them. I send it out to Soundtracks and let them fix it. It's a lot better. They got the stuff, they got the parts, they get everything they need to do it. So, but since you sent it to them, it's too late now. But that's what I would have done. Jackson and I are going on a train trip to West Virginia to visit my sister. Probably go to CASS before we leave. That'll be a nice trip. Yeah, West Virginia is about 8 hours from my house. Long time ago, when I was still married, and I always took my son all around the country, and we went to wrestling tournaments. He was a wrestler. And there was a wrestling tournament in West Virginia. And we got there, And we drove out, and we got inside into the town, and there was a sign outside of the town. This is the smallest town in the United States. And that was what the sign was. So we get there, we don't know what to think, right? And they had a high school, or what's it? Yeah, they had a high school. That's where we were. Yeah, it was a high school that they had the wrestling tournament, and it was for elementary kids. We get there, the people were so nice. You know, we went to so many different places, so many wrestling tournaments, and food and drink and all that. You know, you had to spend money to buy it. There, they were so hospitable, and they had food there for the coaches. We were coaching, and the kids couldn't eat; they had to make weight. But we were able to have breakfast. They had us coffee for the guys, all kinds of stuff. It was really nice. So it was a good experience there. We went to Enid, Oklahoma, and that was like night and day compared to the place in West Virginia. People weren't so friendly there. Now, we stayed in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We went to a tournament in Tulsa, Oklahoma a couple times, and those people out there were nice. But Enid, Oklahoma, I wouldn't recommend anybody going there. If you live there, sorry, but we had a bad experience there. But anyway, that was enough about the traveling around. So, um, like I said, I took the LEDs. These are the LEDs. They're red. They're color red, even though they're clear. They have a red. They're red light, and all my bumpers have a red LED in them. So I said, what can I do with these toggle switches? These are the toggle switches. What can I do with them? So I said, you know what? I brought them into here, and I hooked two of them up, two buttons up, with two lights. And then I had two jumper wires, and I put it on the track. I had a connector at the end of the bus line, and I put wires there, and then I jumpered them on the desk here, and then boom, it worked. So I was able to turn on and off the light with this toggle switch. So okay, so now I'm putting the LEDs back into the bumpers, and I got a lot of them done, but I'm not all done. I have a few more to do, about 10 more out of the 25. So I was doing some before the show started, and if I make myself big, this is the double pole, single throw toggle switch, and it has 4 connectors on it. When you resize something for the printer, can it make it different problems when it's No, not at all, Rick. No. What I do, Rick, is on the software package for my resin printers, it's called Anycubic Photon. That's the name of the program. you have an Anycubic printer, that's the software you use. Now, if you have a filament printer from Anycubic, then that program don't work with the filament printer, right? It works with the resin printer. And on the build plate, you can resize the object. So all I did was took the people from O scale, put them on the build plate, right-clicked and hit resize, and I resized it 3 millimeters bigger, and it expanded to 3 millimeters. And then what I did was, just in case, I saved all those files as a folder called people 3 millimeter plus, and then I have all those models 3 millimeters bigger than the O scale. So that's all I did. There's no problem. Once you resize it, like if it was the HO scale, it might take 5 minutes to print a figure. The O scale one's a little bit bigger. It might take 7-8 minutes to print because it's a little bit bigger. The 3 millimeter ones, they took like between 8 and 9 minutes to print. And that's with multiples on a build plate. It doesn't matter how many you have. It doesn't change the time by a lot. So if I had 6 figures on a build plate and one takes 8 minutes, it might take 8.5 minutes or maybe even 9 minutes to print all 6 of them. So it just takes a little bit longer to go to each model inside the print. Yeah, it was good. It's easy. It's nothing difficult to do that. So anyway, back to my push button. So what I did was I had to take my soldering iron and then clean out all the posts because they were soldered on before with the other wires to go to the track and stuff. So I cleaned them all off. Then I put new wires on. Now, these 2 wires here, they go to the power. So the power is a DCC bus line. Whichever DCC bus line is close to the buttons, that's the one I connected to. And if a couple buttons are close enough together, I use these lever connectors, and I put the wire coming from the button into one, and then one wire goes to the next one, that one goes from the one before it, or that one goes to the bus line, it depends. So I can do, and then I do the green wire. I got the green wire and the red wire. And that's what that does. And I continue that. Like up in the yard, there was 8 buttons up there, I think, and the other yard had 6 buttons, and they were all daisy chained together and one connection to a bus line. And that's why I tested multiple buttons on my workbench to make sure that worked that way, and it did. So then the 2 longer wires, the red and the black wire here, these go to the LED. And what I saw the other day, I bought some of them from Amazon. They came, and I'm using them, and they work really good. These are these kind of connectors. They're called AMLIDER, AMDLER. I get 100 of these. They go from 18 to 22. And that's what these are, 22 gauge wire. Would those push buttons work the regular tortoise machine switch? Sure. Yeah, they would work. Originally, on my layout, Rick, I had all push button panels all around the layout. I had several of them. I made one originally, then I added more, and I made another one, and I had them all over the place. Then and that was a push button, and there was LEDs on there, red and green. You could tell which way it was going, and the push button was connected to the tortoise machine. And so then I got out of those panels because there was a lot of wiring involved in doing that. I think there was, I had to run 4 wires from the tortoise machine to the push button and to get the LEDs to work and everything. Now, I don't remember exactly. I have to look at my notes. But yeah, you can use them. I had a different kind of push button. I had a push button that had a green and a red LED in it. So when I pushed the button in, it went green. And it was always green unless it was in a diverging track. And I pushed it out, then it was red, then that meant the track was diverged, stuff like that. I had push buttons, LEDs in a panel, and I had those bushings that you drill the hole and you push the bushings in, then the LED goes in so it won't fall out of the hole. All that kind of stuff I had. They fell out sometimes. The lights didn't stay in place. I didn't like the panels. That's why I got the DCC Concepts panels, and all the push buttons are all controlled by DCC Concepts Mimic boards, and the LEDs are all controlled by the Mimic boards, and they're all on the fascia near the turnout, and it's red and green. Tells me which way the LED, which way the turnout is turned to. So, but yes, to answer your question, you can use these to control turnouts and tortoise machines. What I'll do, Rick, is with this here, when it wasn't working, I'll try setting it up on my workbench with a power, and then I'll put a push button on it. I have extras of these in the closet behind me. Then I'll test it out and I'll let you know what the wiring diagram will be for it. So anyway, yeah. So these here connectors I got, these Ambler, I guess it's pronounced. I don't know. They're this. Let me just do it this way. They look like this. And what they do is they come apart. Now you have 2 pieces. Okay? And then the end lifts up like so. Now you have the end there. You take the 2 wires, slide one in this hole, you slide the other one in that hole, and you take a pair of pump pliers and then just squeeze this down. And then if you need to, you can just pull it up. And then you could take the wires out if you need to. You can disconnect these if you need to. And the beauty of it is you can lift this up after it's been clamp down with the pump wires. You can lift it up, take the wires out, and then you can lift the LED out of the hole. The other type of connectors I'm using, the big connectors, I can't pull them out. So I have to cut off the wire or stuff like that. So these are really cool. And I forget what, it cost me a few bucks to buy these. And so I got enough to do what I need to do and get the project done. So I used a couple of these already on the yard, up in the upper yard, and the lower yard I didn't get them. No, they're not keyed, Mike. For the application I'm working for, it doesn't really matter. I use like the same color wires, and I stick it in to the same side when I'm doing it. Like I put the black one on one side and the red one on the other side, and the other way I do the same thing. The black one closest to me and the red one the farthest away when I'm looking at it. Then when you connect them together, the black is to the black and the red is to the red. But it doesn't matter because it's just an LED. It doesn't matter which wire goes to which one. So, but I had it so that when I connected together, they're both the same. But they're not. It's not keyed. All it does is slide together. As soon as I slide them together, turn on the toggle switch. Yeah, I would just match the colors, Mike, to be on the safe side. If you had anything, like if you were doing these for feeder wires, then you'd have to make sure that you get the right wire on the right side. But for an LED, nah, doesn't matter. So, but I do it just because I want to make sure that I'm putting the same color in the same side all the time, so that I know that's the way it is. And as soon as I did it, I connected it together, hit the toggle switch, and the LED came on, so it was good. So if it was a problem, the light wouldn't come on. The last two I was doing before the show started, I connected them all together. I ran the wires through the holes, put them in the bumpers, ran down, connected them with these connectors, and I hit the toggle switches and they didn't come on. I go, what's going on? What's going on? Well, I forgot to connect. I had two of these there coming down from the switch, the toggle switch, but I never connected them to the next one, and the next one was connected to the bus line. Yeah, so that's why I was trying to do 4 at a time this time. No, I started out doing 1 at a time and then tested it, or now I'm doing multiples, and like I'll have 2 next to each other. I'll do those 2, connect them up to a bus line. Then there's 4 in this one that are all close together, so I can connect them all together, and then 1 bus line connection. And when these are connected to power, there's a little itty bitty red light that comes on inside there, so you know you have power into these. It's not bright or anything, and I was a little disappointed about that light, but it would have been nice to have a light on, and then when you turn it off, it goes off. That would be nice, but it doesn't. So, yeah, so I just clamped these down on this, and then these are the LEDs, okay? And what I've been doing is soldering longer wires on to them, so that when I put it in a hole, then this can come over to the panel, and then these will go into this side of this connector, and then they connect to the switch. Now, these are special LEDs for the yard up there. These were outside of the building I had, and they were just sticking out a little bit. And then I knew that had. So what my plan is, and then what I did was I just used this liquid electrical tape to paint the solder joints, so there's no chance of it touching sometime down the road. So I'll put them in after the show tonight. Yeah, this is red color electrical tape. Now I had a bottle of this in green, and I went to use it 2 days ago when I started this project, and all the it wasn't liquid anymore. It like gelled, and I couldn't liquefy it anymore. So I just threw it away and bought another can. Thanks, Rick. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on, and like I have these two. I'll finish these two up tonight. Then I got 4 more on the 2 more in the yard. That's where that train engine and the crane run back and forth to the scrap yard. I just push a button and it runs back and forth automatically. And then when I want to stop it, I just hit the toggle switch. That's part of the automation I have. And that track had 2 bumpers. So I had 2 red lights on that track. So I got to hook that up. And then there's one up in the 5th level, the siding that goes back to the refinery. And then there's another one on the other side of the 5th level for a siding before the roundhouse that I have up there. So those 2 I'll do them for tomorrow. Get them done. Then I got the lower yard to do. There'll be longer wire runs because the push buttons are on the 2nd level. The fascia on the 2nd level was a convenient spot to put them push buttons. So I got to run a wire, and then down the post, and then a hole I have down and then over. So they're like maybe 4 feet long pieces of wire to run down to the light. Now those there, the LEDs are still in the bumpers. I didn't take them out. I just disconnected them wires underneath the layout. They were connected already with lever connectors. So what I'll do is I'll just put these, easier to see them when they're together. I'll put these connectors on those wires. And this is nice because it's 2 wires and the connector is 2 wires. So I don't need like 2 connectors for each LED. I just need 1 connector and it's good. So makes it easy. And so that's what that's going to happen. And I had to wait for supplies to come. I ran out of these lever connectors. These are nice. I like these because they go 1 to 2. And you can have 1 feeder wire coming in, and then you can go out to 2 different devices if you have. So with this project, that's how I'm going from one to the next. So I come in, go to the next one, the next one, the next one, right? So I ran out of these. So I went on Amazon early this morning and I found these. A bag of these were $5.13 or something like that for, I don't know, 20 pieces or 30 pieces or something like that in the bag. I don't remember. And it was same day delivery. It'd be delivered between 5 o'clock and 10 o'clock tonight if I ordered $25 worth of stuff. So I said, okay, let me order 2 bags of this. So then that brought it up to, it was $4 or something, I guess. It brought it up to $9 of change. So I needed something for, $16 to make $25. So I found a spool of filament for $17 or $18. So I ordered a spool of filament, and it has the spool on it that you can twist it, take it off. So that'll be good for getting refills later on. That's what I buy now, those kinds. I don't buy the cardboard ones anymore. So that's what you should think about, the way getting those kinds. Then you can take the spools and take them apart, and then you can buy refills, put that on, and then put it back on that, and then you have your spool. So that's what that's all about. And let me just bring this back up. Yeah, I have the system on, but I'm not running any trains yet. You can see the signals up here. You see the red ones. That's because the 2 subway trains are down that way. They're sitting there waiting. I haven't gotten the track cleaning cars going there yet. And I still have a couple of panels to put. I don't know if you know, I've seen Hobby Lobby sell filament for critters. Oh, really? Well, I have a Hobby Lobby here. I have a Hobby Lobby app on my phone. I'll look at it, but I don't know what brands they sell. And, next time we go to Hobby Lobby, I'll check it out, because that's right down the road from me. That's where I get all my paints from. So I got all the metallic paint the cars, and Barbara still has about 20 some cars to paint for me for those car carriers I have to fully load them up. So her eye is still giving her problems. So I don't like to let her paint too much when she's here. Comes here, I let her paint just a little bit, then take a break, because too much for the eye. Still, it takes a long time to heal. So it'll be over this weekend. Maybe she'll get a little more done. I got like 5 Corvettes that are almost done. Just a couple of details on them. Then they'll go on the car carrier. Then I have a couple more. All the Firebirds have to be primed and painted yet. So I started priming them the other day, so I wanted to take a break. I got like 3 of them done, but I've been too busy with all this stuff. Yeah, that's right, Chuck. Yeah, they $25 for same day. That's not too bad. If I need something like filament, I can always use filament. And I don't know. I got a spool of gray. Gray you can use for anything. Like I have red, I have white, I black. I didn't need those. I had some yellow, but what the red and the yellow are getting low. But you know, but that's what I do. I'll go on. If I need something right away, I'll see what's there available for today, and then I'll go to the filament page, and they'll always have something for today. So that's funny though. Then they have when you order regularly, uh, then it's 2 days. I don't know why that is, but what can you do? So I put that NW2 engine that was in my latest video on the track, and I tested it out. And that's what I was using to test the lower yard. That's when I found out the turnouts weren't working in that yard. So I got to figure that out once I get the spring wire. So, like Amazon told me the spring wire wasn't going to be here until the 28th of July. And I ordered it last week. Or, yeah, it was this past weekend, I think I ordered. Something like that. And it said it won't be the 28th. So they just said it was shipped today, and the post office has a pre-shipping label in let's see, where is it? It's it's in pre-shipment. It's in Brazelton, Georgia, wherever that is. They haven't gotten the package yet. It's just a label created. So, and the other package coming from my resistor guy that departed from Chicago at 2 o'clock this morning. So, yeah, that's right. Spring wires, piano wire. Yep. And so I, yeah, that's what they call it, piano wire, spring wire. But I like a thicker wire for my tortoise machines or my motor machines. Um, I was first, I think when they ship it to you, they send you a piece of string wire. It's 020. That's just too thin. That doesn't work well. So then I went to 25 and 32. Amazon didn't have any 32 that I liked, and so I got 25. 25 is good. It works. It's the thinnest I'll use. Then 32 is even better, but yeah, I'm not sure about if it. I don't know. I like K&S brand, and that's all what I have. The K&S brand, even the brass wire I bought for other things that I use. Uh, that's all K&S brand. That's the brand I get. But I'll check out what Hobby Lobby has. Yeah, K&S. Yeah, good. Good. So I'll check them out next time I go to my Hobby Lobby store. Matter of fact, after the show, I'll go on the Hobby Lobby app and check out the filament and the K&S, see if they have anything in the store. Because they have it there, I'll go right there and get it. It's closer. See, my hobby shop, which is about 4 miles from my house, it's over in Pennsylvania. But they didn't have any K&S in stock. They were out of it. They had thinner K&S stock, 15, 10, 20. That ain't going to work. So I need 25 or thicker. So that diameter. Because then what I have to do is I just have to drill out the hole on the motor that their hole just a little bit bigger to fit the bigger size spring wire. See, this thing here won't bend. If I had a 20 on here, I could bend this with my finger. Can't bend this one here. I got to use a pair of pliers to make that curve there and twist it, make an angle to go into the hole. So it makes it harder to do that. And yeah, that's right, Rick. Yeah, yeah. I have the DPU 4s. They're motors. They're a real small footprint. And they work well, and I use the spring wire, the 25 or 32 for them machines, and they turn the turnouts. Yeah, that's what that does. So, like I say, that NW2 engine's running nice. Sounds good. It works well. This is the other. This is an SW7. This is another engine I converted over to Soundtrack's decoder, small, and it works. I have it here just to move the cars around after I put the resistor wheels on and make sure that they're working in there. I made up the decals for the road number for that SD40, that Rio Grande engine, the one that didn't come with road numbers on it. The shell, I don't know why there wasn't road numbers on it. When I bought it, it was a brand new engine too, so no numbers on it. Heading out, JD. Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Yeah, enjoy your dinner, JD. Catch you later. Enjoy your trip to West Virginia too. And then I printed Joe Rader and Tammy. He was holding Tammy when he first got Tammy, and so I printed out. He wanted 2 of them. I made 4 of them for him. So I printed them today. They're in the water. I'll wait until tomorrow to take them out, put them in the curing station, then I'll ship them down to them. Probably by the end of the week, they'll be out. So the other thing I did this past since last show. Oh, Rick, what I do is I have a small hand drill, and all I do is get the bit on the drill, and then I just go into the existing hole, and I only go in just a little bit. I don't go all the way through. I don't use an electric drill. I don't use a Dremel drill. It's by hand, and I do it just a little bit, and then I see the threads come. The parts of the wall coming out, you know, when you drill it, and I know I'm in there. Then I take the straight part of the spring wire and I push it in and it fits in there, then I know I got it the right size. So, but I never drill all the way through. I just drill in just a little bit. I might put the bit in about 1/8 of an inch. That's it. No more than that. That thing is pretty thick, but if you drill through that, you could go in and damage something inside if the bits all goes all the way through. So I took a tortoise machine apart once before. How to take you have to take this part, you have to take this label off, then there's screws that screw it together. Then you just take the screw out, then you can see what's going on inside. But that's what that. So on YouTube, I went through all my live stream videos that had that stupid violation for the violation for that one countdown thing I had on my videos. So if you ever have that violation on there, if you just click on it and then go down and take action, you can remove the song, and then it doesn't affect your video at all. So all they do is remove the song from the video. Yeah, yeah, Rick. Yeah, well, yeah. Sometimes that happens. Let's see. So it's pretty interesting that this you have to wait like 24 hours for it to clear. So I went on YouTube Studio and then I looked at all my live stream videos and I didn't have any violation messages anymore. So that process worked. So if anybody has that problem, um, you can contact me. I'm glad to help you walk you through it, and show you how to do it. It's not very difficult, and it's just a little time consuming. And you know, when you're going down through them, like I had a bunch of them in a row, and you don't remember if you did the one or not. But if you did one and you didn't know you did it, if you click on view the message, the take action button is grayed out if you already clicked on it. So if you did take action and you see that message still there and you view it, then if the take action button is grayed out, that means you already took action on that thing. Yep, that's right. You just have to click on it and take the thing off. It's not that difficult. It's just time consuming. That's all. Yeah, I'm not selling any of my stuff like that. I'll keep them and I use them. Like I have a lot of smalls in a box. Um, they didn't work with the push buttons um, panels that I have, and I when I switched over to the Cobalt uh, panels from DCC Concepts, the smalls work, the Cobalt IPs work, the DB4s work, the Taurus machines work. All I do is push the button on the panel of the Cobalt panel device, and the turnout moves, and away it goes. So those things work well. You've all seen them. I had them on. Let's see, is this the one here? That's not the view. This one. Wrong way. For those who haven't seen them, these are the Cobalt push button devices. And each one of those buttons on the Cobalt is a turnout. And these up here are the LEDs for the turnouts. And there's a green and a red. They're on this post or here, all the turnouts. Here's more of them here, all along here, turnouts. So they're near the turnouts, I put them. So that you're looking at that area, you can see the turnouts, green or red. And you can see right there, there's the red bumper. That's working now. And up here, you can see a red bumper. That's working now. So that's what I'm working on. And here, right here, and here, these are the wires that I'm working on right now. There's holes right there. Those were the, the holes are for the two push buttons that I have on my desk here. And I'll hook them up later on. And then I'll take care of these four. And then there's one here. That's one I work on tomorrow. And another one over there. And one all the way on the other side of the layout. Yeah, push buttons work well. And on a Taurus machine, you can get the push buttons to work. It's not that difficult. Like I say, I'll play around with the diagram and I'll let you know. It's not that hard. You get the right kind of push buttons that have the LED in the button, that's even better. My first push button panel, I got the idea off of the DCC guy. He doesn't do that many videos now. He does once in a while. He puts out a video. He's still on YouTube, but he doesn't. He used to put out videos all the time. Now he just does one once in a while. And he built a push button panel that controlled Taurus machines, and that's where I got the idea to start doing push button panels for them, because I can do them through the push button. I can do them on my JMRI panel. I have one panel on my JMRI panel that has all the turnouts on. I can click on those turnouts and change the turnout. I can do it from my I can do it from my UDP 100 controller. So I have multiple ways of changing the turnout. See, the UDP reads the JMRI turnout table, and I just enter the number in there, and it brings up the turnout, and I can go 1 or 2 and make it go do that. Either way, Rick, anyway, you can email me, text me, call, doesn't matter. Simple as that. That's what works for me. I'm always around, get calls. Don't get many phone calls. I get text messages or messages on Facebook, stuff like that. So, but yeah, so that's what I'm working on there, and I just making my way around. And then here, you can't see it, but this here goes back and then it angles across and then goes over this way. Well, on this here piece, there's the push buttons for the turnouts for the lower yard, which is right there. So right here is where the push buttons are for the lower yard, which is over here. So those I'll do tomorrow with the other couple that are up there. It's easier during the daylight. You can see things better. Nighttime, not so bad. But I can do this last one at nighttime. But then that's enough for the day. And then I'll go move on to doing something else. And see how that goes. So, yeah, so I was happy to get all those songs out of those videos, and get rid of that violation. Makes it a lot better for that. So, yeah, I usually just after I paint these wires with that liquid tape, I let it set for maybe 15, 20 minutes, and it doesn't take long for it to dry. I touch it, and if I don't get any on my fingers, then I know it's good to go. And then it protects it. Because I was always using heat shrink, and that's a pain in the neck. Then you got to find the right um, size for the wire you're using. And I have a whole bag of that stuff, but they're bigger pieces. I don't have anything small. Like, I used to have a real long piece. Like, that's um, heat shrunk together, the black and the yellow wire. There's a black and yellow wire soldered together there. I cut this off. I didn't like this was too thin to use, so I cut that off and put a little thicker gauge wire. Yeah, Rick, I know. Well, like I said on my shows in the past, I started doing YouTube 4 years ago, I guess it was, and or 5 years. I've been here 5 years now, and I did my first video, no problem. Put it up there, got it there. The next video I did, I was showing my progress in the train room, and in the living room, I had the TV on, and that was on. And there was a commercial on there playing music like all commercials do, right? And the video picked up the music. And when I put the video up on YouTube, they flagged it saying violation, copyright violation. So, and like for that, I wasn't playing my videos. And, you know, now I record them, and then sometimes I have multiple sections, stuff like that. So I bring them into a video editing software I have, and then I play um, once I merge it all together, put some comments in the video and stuff like that, then it's all boom. Hey Derek, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. And I then I play the whole video and watch it. But sometimes I'm not paying attention to the video and I'm listening, but I don't hear no music in it. So, because I watch the videos after I record them. Sometimes I might not like what I recorded, then I'll redo it or something like that. So, it's just the way it is. Yeah, good. Yeah, Rick, it's real easy. If you see the word violation on your video and then you highlight that, um, you can click on it, and then there'll be another window open, and then there should be take action if they allow it. Depends on what the violation is, I guess. But I was able to remove the music. I could have removed all sounds from the video. There's a couple of different options in there. All I wanted to do was remove that countdown song out of the video. That's what they were complaining about. Autistic wrestler. Where are you from? I don't know if he's still in here. Well, you don't know why. That's nobody doing that, Dwight. You can't give somebody a violation. That's YouTube. YouTube goes through everybody's videos, and if they find a song in there, then they find out if it's a copyright violation, then they give you a violation. That's all. That's YouTube doing that. Nobody can do that. You can give them a thumbs down. That's all you can do. I give you a thumbs down all the time, Dwight. Don't you see him? Just kidding. So not all the time, Derek. Um, I didn't get an email about a violation at all. I was just happened to be going. Um, when I get done with my streams every Wednesday night, I go on YouTube Studio, and then I get my latest video, the stream that I just did, and I add it to my playlist. So it's in the playlist, right? That's when I found out that I had violations in here. I just happened to be scrolling down and I noticed, what the heck is that? And I looked at it and then I clicked on it and then I saw that I could remove the song. So then one day I went through and clicked on one page at a time. My live streams are like 5 pages of videos, and I did one page at a time. I didn't do all of them at once. I did all the violations on one page, and the next page, and the next page, and then the last page. So then I came back the next day, went back and looked, and then I saw that they were removed. Then I went to the next page and started doing that. Then I did. It took me a couple of days to get them all done, but I got it done. And I was happy to see that. So yeah, YouTube doesn't tells you sometimes, but not all the time. If you get a copyright violation, like when I got my copyright violation for that video with the music from the commercial, they sent me an email, and my video was removed from my channel. But these are a different type of violation, I guess. I don't know what the message actually was. I posted it on my channel once. I showed you guys on the one of the streams, and all I did was I just removed it. It allowed me to remove them, and now they're clean. So how else could you avoid it in the future? Well, what I do now is when I'm videoing, I make sure that I don't have YouTube on any of my. I can put YouTube on my desktop here in the computer room. I'm not watching YouTube, and the TV is off. That's how I avoid it in the future. And the countdown one that I used tonight, that one doesn't give me a violation, same as the other one. So I don't understand it, why they complained about the other one too. Yeah, my Gmail is my Gmail account. Like, I have about 6 or 7 different Gmails, but my primary Gmail is my Gmail for my YouTube. And then I have another one for YouTube for my TV. So, account that separates the two. So it's just yeah, so that's about that. So, it's that, like I say, that's the only way I would think of there. Just don't have the TV on, the radio on, or anything that'll play music. That's the only thing I. Yeah, see, yeah, that one there is. I found it because I noticed a lot of guys had countdowns. This is only 1 minute, so like Jim Tedesco, he has a 3-minute counter. I don't know how he made that, whatever, uh, but he has a 3-minute timer to his show, and then got a lot of guys play music while they're waiting. But I don't know how they can do that without getting a violation. So I'll just avoid the music. I know you can get songs from YouTube and put them on. Then I heard YouTube wasn't doing that anymore. Now they are again. Can't keep up with them all. So I'm not going to mess around with music on my videos. But people can play songs on their equipment, they can play, and that's a song from a group, and they don't get violations. So I guess it depends on who you are. But I only had one music violation that I got notified from YouTube about, and they fixed that for me. They just took my video out. I had to redo my video. No big deal. And then from then on, I don't leave the TV on when I'm videoing because my camcorder picks it up, sounds up from everywhere. So it's pretty good recorder. I just wish the battery would last longer in it, but it's fully charged, but the battery don't last too long. Yeah, I know. That's right, JD. Do you think the artists would be glad that we're uh, playing their songs on our videos? Ah, that's all right, Rick. Everybody has their own niche, you know. I worked for computers all my life. Started out in electrical engineering, then I switched over to computers, and I was in computers for a very, very, very long. That's right. There, good lyrics. It keeps your mind fresh too. Okay, like troubleshooting problems, and then all of a sudden it clicks and you got it figured out. That's how I work a lot of times. It takes a while, then ooh, the problem is sometimes you need a part to get the problem fixed, or something that you don't have. Then you got to order something. They have to wait for it to get here to resolve it. So, but that's how that goes too. But let's see. I think there's one more Wednesday in July, right? Yeah, the 29th. Yep. Yeah. So yeah. So one more Wednesday in this month. So we'll see you all next Wednesday. I think I'm going to call it an evening, guys. Yeah, next week. Yep. So, everybody, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you all. Uh, hope everybody has a great rest of the week. Don't forget to watch Jim Tedesco tomorrow at 6 o'clock. And, I don't know who's on Friday. Maybe Rick the Tree might be on this Friday. We'll see. Thanks a lot, Rick. And everybody, have a good night, and we'll catch you all later. Take care, and good night. Thanks a lot, JD. Thanks a lot, Derek. Appreciate it. Yeah, the tree is on this Friday. Good. That's what I thought. Appreciate that, Derek. Have a good one. Yeah, end of the stream now. Good night, everyone.